It is the middle of 2022 and it's looking like we are about to enter a recession. Some of the largest tech companies are having massive layoffs right now. So am I going to lose my job? Am I next on the chopping block? As a man with very expensive taste and no real sense of a budget, I really cannot afford to lose my job right now. So am I going to be able to keep my job during a recession? Here are all the things that I'll be doing to try to make sure that I don't get laid off or fired during this recession. And if you find this video helpful, make sure you click subscribe down below and share it with a friend who is worried about losing their job right now. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing to keep my job during recession is making sure that I am on a growing team. I'm going to be asking around, talking to other people within my department and talking to other managers to see which are the teams that are still growing and still hiring people right now. Because if there are a growing team, that probably means they are on a top priority project for our company. And top priority projects always get the first round of funding, and these top priority employees will always have critical skill sets and will typically be last to be let go. And if it's hard for you to figure out which teams are still growing because your company is so large, do a quick search on your company's career page and see which teams have the most job openings right now and see if you can do an internal transfer before it is too late. The second thing that I'm going to be doing is making sure that I am a top performer within my company. Not just a high performer, but a top performer. One of the best people in my department. And I'm going to make sure that all of the executives and all of the managers know that I am a top performer. During a recession and when companies need to decide who they're going to lay off and who they're going to keep, I know that they are always going to prioritize keeping their best people. Now, if you are a top performer, that means you may be last to be let go, but I don't want to be let go at all. So my goal while this is all happening is to make sure that I am the top person on the team. I want to make sure everybody knows that I am the best at this job, because if I can do the work of two people, they would be able to justify my salary and keeping me as an employee. And if you want to know how to be a top employee, I've created a whole video and I have a whole playlist on career advice just like that, which you can check out right up here. Now, the third thing that I'm going to be doing to keep my job is making sure that I always have side projects and things that I'm working on. I never want to run out of things to do, and I need to be proactive about finding side projects and other things to keep me busy. I know that if I'm doing more than the minimum requirements for my job, it's going to make me have a better performance rating, but also help me demonstrate my importance to my manager and the company. It's going to be really hard to justify letting me go if I'm working on so many different things and I am critical to the success of so many different projects. So I need to make sure that I'm really good at my day job, but I also need to make sure that I have other side projects going on at work where I'm helping other people or working with other cross-functional teams. Another thing that I'll be doing is making sure that I have a niche skill set, or I'm going to try to become an expert in a certain area within my company. And I want to be an expert in something where there's not a lot of other people who know how to do this. Because again, it'll be really hard for them to let me go if I'm one of maybe 2 or 3 people in the whole company that know how to do a certain thing. So even if you weren't able to be on a growing team or work on a high priority project for your company, if you are an expert, an industry leading expert in something very niche and specific for your company, it's kind of like the law of supply and demand. There is not a lot of supply, or basically people like you who have this niche skill set. So it'll also be very hard for the company to let you go, because they're going to be thinking once we come out of this recession, if they let you go, it's going to be so hard to find someone later on with a similar skill set as you, and they don't want to risk that chance. So another thing that I'm going to be doing to keep my job is making sure that I have very powerful advocates who will fight to keep my job even if I'm on the chopping block. So one of the things that I'm doing right now is having little check-ins to make sure that my personal brand around the office is very positive and strong. I need to make sure that all these powerful people who are going to be making these decisions if we were to have layoffs really like me and will do their best to keep me around. I'm also going to be very mindful about how I am working with my teammates right now. I need to be likable and make sure that everyone on my team likes working with me. So I'm going to avoid conflict and confrontation right now. And the last thing that I'm going to be doing to keep my job during a recession is working towards becoming a manager. In general, having a higher level role and being a manager is much more recession proof because if you think about it, your skill set is far more flexible than someone who's just an individual contributor or someone who's a technical person in a specific job role. Because as a manager, you could manage people and also get the job done if push came to shove because you have the skill set. Now, the common misconception is that because managers or upper level managers make a lot of money, you would be the first to be let go because they want to save money on the budget, right? But actually, if you think about it, you are worth the higher price tag because, again, you have a variety of skill sets and you can do a whole bunch of things all by yourself. So the company actually gets a lot more bang for their buck if I was to be a manager. So what I've actually been doing is I've been volunteering a lot over the past few months to coach, mentor, and onboard any new people that are on the team or maybe struggling on the team. I'm trying to show people that I have management capabilities or the potential to be a really good manager. So I've actually been working a whole lot extra to help people answer their questions and get on calls and video calls with them to make sure that they are successful in their role as well. Now, as a quick FYI, if you are working towards being a manager at your company, they're probably gonna give you a manager role and responsibilities without giving you the pay bump right away because they want to make sure that you can actually be successful as a manager before officially promoting you. But in tough times like this, I want to make sure that I keep my job, so I have no problem doing the manager work without getting the manager pay, at least for now. All right, so now you know all of my secrets and all the things that I'm doing to try to keep my job during a recession and hoping that all of you are able to keep your job as well. As a recruiter, I already know that if things are not going well in my company, we are definitely the first function that will be let go. So I will keep you all updated on my journey and what I hear in the market, but make sure you comment down below how you are doing your best to keep your job as well, so we can share tips and we can all stay employed together. Thank you all for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one.